Good evening, I'm Ashley Jordan.
And I'm John O'Leary. Here's what's coming up next on UW Panthervision.
Change is sweeping through Wisconsin. We have team coverage to explain your vote and what it means for education.
Leaves leave a mess on city streets. It could leave you in a bad mood. We'll tell you why.
This isn't your ordinary workout. We'll tell you what's got these students pedaling with a purpose.
Chants and cheers fill the union. And it's no protest. What's got these students riled up? Next on Panthervision.
From the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, this is UW Panthervision. A weekly newscast reported, written, and produced by students in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication. And now, the news.
Good evening. Political change is sweeping the state.
And the change can mean changes in higher education. Republicans won the governor's office and control of both the state Senate and Assembly in Tuesday's election.
We have team coverage tonight on your vote and what it might mean to your future. We start with a look at the scramble by both parties to get young voters to the polls.
Every election,
Hi, have you voted here before?
you hear how crucial it is for politicians to target various demographics.
All right, so go on in and get in the voter line.
Some fear that many young voters don't intend to vote. But that's not the case for Rachel Signer.
Well, I've always been passionate about politics and the election. I was an intern for the Obama campaign 2 years ago, so I just got really excited, and I definitely think that everyone's voice needs to be heard and everyone needs their opinion to be out there.
Erica Wolf works for the United Council and says students are more informed about the elections than in years past.
There's a lot of really tight, contentious races all over the state, so I think there's a lot of excitement. There's tons of ads. There's like stuff on YouTube. It's like everywhere, so it's bigger than 2006 probably because of the new media stuff too.
Wolf says it's about getting the word out to vote.
So you just gotta text 25 people and just tell them, remember to vote.
Sandburg Dorms is one of the many areas in which local residents and students can come and register as well as vote for this year's state Senate as well as governor election.
Patrice Vanuk says this election is important.
It affects us locally, and I know that the change in majority would have a big effect, even if it doesn't feel like it would immediately. Eventually it will. And if you give up your right to vote, it's it's giving up one of your basic rights. So.
Rights that Patrice and Rachel weren't ready to give up on Election Day. In Milwaukee, I'm John O'Leary for Panthervision.
Turnout at one of the Sandburg Residence Hall's precincts is among the highest in the state.
In Ward 39, which is one of the 2 wards at Sandburg, 932 students cast ballots. But according to city voting records, there are only 412 registered voters in that ward. That means turnout was 226%. No, students didn't vote early and often. City Election Commissioner Sue Edmond tells us that when students move out of campus housing, they are inactivated as voters in that precinct. The discrepancy comes when new students register on Election Day. Students in Ward 39 favored Mayor Tom Barrett over County Executive Scott Walker by a margin of 66% to 32%. The governor's race has probably the biggest impact on higher education.
For the first time in state history, the 2 major party candidates for governor are from Milwaukee County. As we continue our team coverage, Your Vote 2010, we take you to the election night parties of both candidates. We'll start with Panthervision reporter Lauren Robertstad and winning candidate Scott Walker.
Hi, can I speak with Matthew, please?
Anit Campbell is a sophomore at UWM with a different kind of after-school job.
Started working for Scott Walker in his official office back exactly a year ago, and then I switched over to his campaign office right now.
Anit also approves of Scott Walker's message on higher education.
Making college more affordable for everybody in Wisconsin, and that's an issue that affects me also, so I really like his stance on education.
As she calls registered Republicans in Wisconsin, Anit is excited for what's to come later tonight.
I absolutely think he's going to win.
Redemption is on the minds of Scott Walker's supporters at his reception at the Country Springs Hotel.
I've got to tell you, It feels great tonight to be a Republican, doesn't it?
And finally, the man of the hour. Scott Walker accepted his gubernatorial candidacy on Tuesday night in front of family, friends, and supporters. He wanted everyone to know one thing about Wisconsin as the future approaches.
Wisconsin is open for business.
Walker has a lot of reasons to celebrate.
Well, Jeanette, I think this topped the year she got me a Harley for my birthday. How about that?
He turns 43 on Election Day. Walker thanks volunteers like Anit for tonight's results.
That's the kind of guy he is. He's really humble. He really is appreciative of everybody who helped out in his campaign and, all his supporters. I'm so excited.
The mood is playful here, and now we go to Panthervision's Chuck Engel to tell us what's happening at Serb Hall.
On most Tuesday nights, Milwaukee's Serb Hall is bustling with the likes of bowlers and the sounds of bingo. But this isn't your average Tuesday night.
Hello, Wisconsin! It's great to be with you.
Voters are here to see if Tom Barrett strikes jackpot as Wisconsin's next governor. UWM senior Kyle Bertling is here to help.
Oh yeah, help yourself all you want. Have a couple of these.
He doesn't want Republican Scott Walker to be governor.
With the amount of deficit that's currently in the system, cuts are going to have to come somewhere, and I feel like Tom has the right idea for protecting education, especially higher education.
Barrett Communications Director Phil Walzak agrees.
I think this election is pivotal to higher education. We have two competing visions of how to invest in Wisconsin's priorities. Tom Barrett is committed to making sure that our institutions of higher learning have the resources they need to provide a world-class education to students in Wisconsin.
The stakes are high in this election,
Tom Barrett has to win big.
but polls closed at 8 p.m. and attendance is low. Early returns had Barrett trailing his rival by double digits. Eventually, the room filled with a sense of hope.
When poll after poll and pundit after pundit said no, we said yes.
But as more polls came in, so did a sense of reality.
So the Milwaukee showdown for Wisconsin's top job just came up short for Tom Barrett today.
We are all here because we love this state and we care about its people. That's what's important. Let's continue to move the great state of Wisconsin forward. Thank you very much, and good night. Thank you very much.
A rough night left Democrats searching for optimism.
So I'm disappointed, but I still have hope that Wisconsin will make the progress that it needs to make.
In Milwaukee, I'm Chuck Engel for Panthervision.
Barrett will continue to serve as Milwaukee's mayor. County Board Chairman Lee Holloway takes over as interim county executive until a special election can be held.
The signs of fall are all around us, but if you don't read the signs, it could cost you a lot of money. Panthervision's Zaranda Sanford tells us why.
Bare trees can be seen in every neighborhood across the city, surrounded by leaves crowding the ground and streets. But for the residents living in the UWM area, leaves mean money. Each year around this time, students and residents are warned to move their vehicles to the other side of the street so the city can do its job. But for sophomore Marissa Milkey, it's just more of an inconvenience.
I don't leave you any notice that it's been towed, so it's kind of a panic, and I have a lot of personal items in my car, so it's very frustrating, and then once you figure out that it has been towed, it's even more frustrating having to come down here.
Many students waited alone. Marissa had her mom to keep her company and out of the cold.
Well, my mom happened to be down here today, so she helped, and she's been really nice, and she drove me down here, so otherwise it would have been even more of a hassle.
It is important to keep the streets swept, even if it puts dents in students' pockets.
It's $105 to get it back just the first day, and then it's $40 for the ticket, so I ended up paying, I think, the full price for ticket and towing today.
Paying the ticket wasn't her only problem.
Yeah, actually, I do have a class today, and I work actually at 3 in Brookfield, and it takes about 40 minutes to get out there.
But that didn't stop the tow truck from towing, the street sweep from sweeping, or the streets from getting clean. In Milwaukee, I'm Zaranda Sanford for Panthervision.
According to Manager of Department of Public Works Cecilia Gilbert, approximately 106 cars are towed and 343 citations are issued on street sweeping days. If you do the math, that means a total fines of up to $25,000.
Students can start planning the classes they want to take next semester. Spring courses are now listed on the UW-Pause website. While you can view which classes will be offered, they won't be able to register until their assigned appointment date. Those assigned dates will be listed on the Pause website starting on November 15th.
If UWM wants to make changes to PantherLink, it will require a substantial investment in hardware and staff. That's the assessment of Zimber Professional Services, which is the software vendor for PantherLink. Right now, there are no plans to make substantial changes to the software, which allows students to have email accounts and set up online calendars on the UWM website.
UWM is searching for some top administrators, including a new chancellor. MATC, on the other hand, has just hired a top official. MATC reporter James Zoltak introduces us to the new college's chief financial officer.
Mark Sargent recently retired from being CFO at MATC. As of July 12th, Dr. James Williams has taken over as the new chief financial officer.
What does the job of a CFO entitle? It's very broad. It focuses primarily on budget development and management for the college, which is a fairly large job. It's probably 75% of the job. But then there's the payroll, making sure that folks are being paid the right amount timely. It also includes the purchasing, all of the resources, supplies, and things that are needed for the college, the operations. It includes the grounds, keeping the grounds looking very nice. It includes all of the, keeping the building nice and safe too. And if you go to the bookstore and you find yourself having to stand in line at a bookstore, we're trying to give students the flexibility to be able to order more textbooks online. If one of our students that have to rely on financial aid, you shouldn't necessarily have to stand in a line to pick up your check or have it mailed to you. We're working on being able to make your refund directly into your checking account.
Dr. James Williams has matters well in hand here at MATC. For Panthervision, I'm James Zoltak.
Coming up next on Panthervision, riding bikes usually expends a lot of energy, but this time student volunteers are helping to save it.
And it may be the season for sickness, but a support group on campus can help you keep a healthy relationship with food.
Boy, it's amazing how many stars there are. You know what's really amazing, Clell, is that recent discoveries within the Orion Nebula lend credence to the theory of a whole other solar system, predating our own, of course, the origins of which remain in microscopic gaseous form, thus increasing the chances of our not being alone. Let's see.
We all know music and exercising go hand in hand.
But what has students wearing helmets to a concert?
Panthervision's Brittany Radakovich has the story.
Students stopped by the Guest House Thursday night to check out an interesting concert. The band Elf Lettuce played a wide variety of music. But that's not the only thing that kept the crowd involved. The concert was completely powered by stationary bikes. By pedaling, students generated enough power to run the music, lights, and still have extra energy. When the bikers are giving off more energy than the band needs, the lights behind me light up. John Glabier is a sophomore at UWM and volunteered at the event.
I've had bike-powered smoothies and like other small-scale appliances. I've never been to a bike-powered concert, so I think it's a pretty cool idea.
The mastermind behind all of this? Dan Okafor.
What we've done is taken a standard car alternator and souped up the inside of it by putting in special coils so it can run at a slower speed, RPMs, and deliver 12 volts of energy.
Dan designed the bikes and the concert to be more eco-friendly. He says he's been living environmentally driven since 1971.
I use all LED lighting. I have an on-demand water heating system. I have wind towers. I have solar panels, and I burn wood for heat. So my home is 100% environmentally friendly.
And when he says everything, he means everything.
My grass is cut by horses and fertilized by horses.
Dan will continue to conserve energy, one concert at a time. In Milwaukee, I'm Brittany Rodakovich for Panthervision.
This was the second annual bike-powered concert held in UWM's Gas House.
Another business is opening near the UWM campus. Goodwill opens a new store on Oakland Avenue next spring. The store will be located just south of Locust Street in a building that is rented seasonally by Halloween Express. The Goodwill shop will offer low-priced clothing and will accept used clothing as donations.
Perhaps you've heard of the freshman 15. Gaining weight when you start college may not be classified as an eating disorder, but many students do need support. Eating isn't always a bad thing, and one of the many support groups on campus explains why. Justin Paul has the story.
The UWM Student Union has a lot of eating options available, from Taco Bell to Burger King. But instead of eating food, there's a group on campus focused on a different aspect of food.
Students looking to get more information about the support group can come here, to the Women's Resource Center. They can join at any time, and the meeting is held in a discreet location.
Dave Drakowski is the leader of an eating disorder support group at the WRC.
Basically, my position is to facilitate the eating disorder support group, and that's really it.
Dave says the support group is a must on campus.
So the most important part is really just getting the kids to come in, getting the students to come in and really deal with what's been happening in their life.
But it's not just the Women's Resource Center that's concerned. Joanne Graham is a psychologist at the Norse Health Center. She says there are numerous signs to look for when dealing with an eating disorder.
If one's really vulnerable and certain conditions come into play, that can slowly develop into an eating disorder.
It's an issue that will never go away. In Milwaukee, I'm Justin Paul for Panthervision.
UWM isn't the only place students can get support. Rogers Memorial Hospital in Milwaukee offers group therapy, medical monitoring, and much more.
A new tradition has started at UWM. It's called Panther Spirit Week. It's a pep rally inside the Union Atrium. Among those in attendance at the first Spirit Week rally were men's basketball coach Rob Jeter and women's basketball coach Sandy Botham. We'll have updates on those teams' games coming up later in sports.
It's too bad some of that spirit couldn't warm us up this weekend.
Justin Paul is here with weather. Are things going to warm up for us?
I think they are, especially today. We had a lot of sunshine. It should last through the middle part of the week, but we could have a change for the upcoming weekend. We'll take a look at that in the 5-day forecast. So currently right now outside, it's sunny, beautiful sunshine, 52 degrees right now. Dew point is at 37, and the pressure is at 24.48. Right now, today's forecast, it calls for 65 degrees, beautiful sunshine. If you've got any outdoor activities, do them because the weather could change for the upcoming weekend. A low of 46, and there is no chance of rain. Let's take a look at the lows for tonight. We have 36 in Rhinelander, 37 in Eau Claire, 40 in La Crosse, 40 in Oshkosh, and then 41 in Milwaukee. So pretty seasonable low temperatures for this time of year in the month of November. Highs across the state today ranging from 63 in Eau Claire and La Crosse, 66 in Madison, and then 64 in Milwaukee. So again, very warm temperatures for the month of November. As we take a look at tonight's forecast, mostly clear, a low of 41 degrees, winds out of the south-southeast at 8 miles an hour. As we take a look at tomorrow's forecast, again, more sunshine, 62 degrees, a low of 41. Great seasonal weather. Winds out of the southeast at 7 to 12 miles per hour. Wednesday, we're looking at, again, partly cloudy skies, a high of 63 with a low of 47, and winds out of the southeast at 7 to 12 miles per hour. As we take a look at the 5-day forecast, unfortunately, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I have to throw in a chance of rain. Temperatures, though, not really too bad, middle to upper 50s, but again, it's just rain. So the lows creeping around from about 40 to 37. So Ashley and John, at least we're not talking snow yet in the middle of November. It's just rain this weekend. So if you have any outdoor plans, do them earlier in the week.
At least there's a little bit of good news. Coming up on Panthervision, find out what's got the UWM soccer team happier about playing at home this season.
And a sizzling sensation around campus. All this and more when we return.
University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. Visit uwm.edu for information.
It happens every day. It doesn't stop when you reach a certain age. We're all of us learning, even now.
Big Bird.
You see something in a person's face and see all they struggle to learn. It could be we are here solely to remind each other what must not be missed or ignored, but celebrated. When do we stop learning? Maybe never.
In Chinese medicine, that the body has to move.
Thanks for watching UWM Panthervision, judged Best Student Newscast by the Northwest Broadcast News Association. Panthervision is produced by students in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication in association with Milwaukee Area Technical College.
The men's and women's basketball teams are running full tilt.
Sean Wiley joins us now with the sports update.
Both the men's and women's basketball teams had games at the Crosby Center this weekend. The men defeated the
Carroll College Pioneers 84-59, and the women, also victorious, defeated the UW-La Crosse Eagles 76-60. Top offensive players for the Panthers were senior Anthony Hill with 19 points and freshman Courtney Lindfors with 19 points. Senior Lindsay Lauer scored 18 points and also had a big defensive night with 17 rebounds, 6 assists, and 6 steals. The regular season for both teams begins this week. The UWM men's soccer team lost to Northern Illinois University 5-1 Thursday night at Engelman Field, but you can't accuse the Panthers for a lack of effort. Sophomore Cody Banks scored the Panthers' only goal. Fans braved the elements to root on their team. On Saturday, the team earned the draw in the final game of the regular season against nationally ranked Michigan State. The soccer team's season at Engelman Field is a bit different this year. Panthervision's Lauren Reimer tells us why the Panthers might enjoy playing at home a little more.
With winter on its way, the last thing you'd expect to see in Milwaukee is lush green grass. But that's exactly what you'll find at Engelman Stadium. The new Laura Moynihan soccer field, complete with synthetic turf. Construction lasted all summer and ended in early October. Before this year, the team had to practice off campus to keep the field looking nice for games. And that's something Chris Wally knows all too well.
And at the end of the season, I know, just looking at pictures and watching old film, at the end of the season, the field got very, very sloppy and muddy, and at times you couldn't truly play the style of soccer you needed to play.
The new turf is tougher than Milwaukee's toughest weather and no longer requires maintenance like mowing and fertilizing. But what's even more exciting is that,
according to FIFA standards, the new field is rated 2-star, which is the highest quality field available.
Synthetic turf eliminates variables caused by rain or snow.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. It's state of the art. It's probably one of the best turf soccer fields in the whole state. So yeah, we're really excited to be out there and training on it every day, and we can, actually train on campus every day, which is fantastic, rather than having to drive off campus. And no, it really plays really, really well.
And that's something everyone can appreciate. In Milwaukee, I'm Lauren Reimer for Panthervision.
The new field's $800,000 price tag was paid through a combination of a 3-year fundraising effort as well as help from the UW-M Foundation. UW-M women's volleyball junior Carrie Shue is the Horizon League Offensive Player of the Week for the second week in a row. This art major plays outside hitter for the Panthers. She has 245 kills and 91 blocks in her college career. The volleyball team defeated Butler, claiming the Horizon League title, earning the right to host the Horizon League tournament in 2 weeks. That's it for sports. Back to you, John.
You may miss the carts, but you won't miss the scent or the appetite. Our sports anchor, Sean Wiley, introduces us to some enterprising young men who can curb your cravings.
The sun is rising on the UW-M campus. Just another school day. Students are moving, and the dogs are sizzling.
All right, well, I can show you what they are. I got the brats right here. These are Polish. These are hot dogs. These are Italian.
Michael Cronenberg sells George's Big Dogs right outside Luber Hall. But he used to walk this walk too.
Because I actually just graduated from UW-M, so.
As a political science graduate, he has bigger dreams than flipping dogs.
I'm going into teaching, and I'm looking for a job in South America or Asia right now.
Students like Todd Miller appreciate what these vendors do for the campus atmosphere.
I think they've really added to it. I think it gives it a kind of homey touch.
Cronenberg won't stop selling until temperatures reach at least freezing. But one stand isn't enough for George's Big Dogs. Matthew Von Schmiel sets up just outside Endress Hall, and he brings a different passion to street vending.
Show me the money, show me the money. Go, boom, 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 boom. Okay, up here, up here, up here. Move it. Who's next?
As a psychology major, he uses these money makers to help his future.
Now I kind of balance this and, college. That way, I'm not, $50,000 in debts before I end my college years.
It's not glamorous, but Matthew and Michael are doing what is necessary to reach their goals. In Milwaukee, I'm Sean Wiley for Panthervision.
And if you're in a hurry, you don't have to worry.
Just have some cash and they'll serve you in a flash. Thanks for joining us for tonight's edition of Panthervision.
You can watch us anytime on Time Warner's Wisconsin On Demand channel 411.
You can also see us on the Time Warner channel 14 and AT&T UVerse channel 99 at 5 o'clock on Wednesdays and Fridays.
From all of us here at Panthervision, have a good night.